Absolutely. Well, again, thank you for having me. I think it is, as you introduced, the reason why the Twitter crypto community cares so much about this question is it's not just about Ripple. It really is, as was introduced, that the whole industry is impacted by this decision. And the core question, as was kind of set up at the beginning, boils down to a 1946 Supreme Court case that has become known as the Howey test, a test to determine is something a security or not. And look, at the end of the day, we have other parts of even the United States government who have called XRP the digital asset that's native to Ripple's technology stack. It's been called a currency, it's been called property. The irony is the only country on the planet that thinks XRP is a security is the United States SEC. The case has gone well, It's still playing out. You know, the SEC, in our judgment, has certainly moved slowly. Typically in these situations, when the SEC brings the case, they want to move quickly. They have been dragging their feet. Gary Gensler said recently publicly that justice delayed is justice denied, and unfortunately, justice is being delayed here by continued efforts by the SEC to push things out.
This was an interview of Brad Garlinghouse on Bloomberg, and he goes on to talk about what he thinks is happening to the SEC versus Ripple case. And as Brad quotes, justice delayed is justice denied. We can clearly see that the case has dragged on for far too long. The SEC versus Ripple case has been on the highlights for months now, and we are still nowhere near a verdict. But like Garlinghouse says, Ripple is still flourishing in this time despite all the challenges. More importantly, it just so happens that the SEC is the only body in the world that thinks of XRP as a security thanks to the Howey test, which Brad goes on to say that it's outdated. As always, we welcome you to Moneyside, your favorite crypto channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get updates when we drop new videos. And don't forget to smash that like button, comment, and share this video if you find it informative.
Okay, well, Brad, our litigation analysts here at Bloomberg Intelligence think that the SEC ultimately is going to win this. That's just an opinion. It's a hypothetical scenario. But in that scenario, how does Ripple move forward?
Well, look, I think the Howey test is being stretched beyond recognition. And again, there's a 1946 Supreme Court case. So the idea that XRP, which we use as a currency, the idea that that's a security, I think is just misguided. But look, unfortunately, Ripple is already operating in a world where it's as if we have lost, right? So in the United States, XRP has for all intents and purposes, there's no liquidity. It's been halted and frozen on most US-based exchanges. Despite that fact, Ripple had a record year last year. We continued to grow very quickly across our major product groups. Even Q1 was a record for us. Now, unfortunately, that growth is almost all coming from outside the United States, and we are hiring more and more people outside the United States. But our customer base now is about 95% non-US companies, non-US payment companies.
In this extract, Brad gives us a brief of what he thinks about the idea of XRP as a security. He says that it's just a misguided opinion. And here's the most interesting part. He talks about how Ripple is actually already operating as if they have lost the case. And that's completely true. As we can see, U.S. citizens are not able to access XRP in most exchanges. Despite that fact, Ripple apparently had a record year last year, and the company continues to grow. The growth is all coming from outside the United States, and the company is hiring more and more people outside the U.S. The company is also 95% non-U.S. partnerships. The whole idea of Ripple was to set the U.S. up for success, but it just so seems that the case is dragging the country behind. Now, chances are, if Ripple loses the case, they are most likely to move their headquarters to more favorable environments. Crypto has been embraced in most countries, and others are even working on CBDCs, partnering with Ripple to actualize this. Nobody can stop the current crypto wave, not even the SEC, but it's up to the government to ensure safety in the crypto world. In their pursuit for justice and regulation, the SEC seems to be taking this case in the wrong direction. This case should have been completed a long time ago, and it doesn't seem right that it has dragged on for this long. As Garlinghouse says, justice delayed is justice denied. However, that hasn't stopped Ripple from venturing into the crypto space headfirst and partnering with some of the big firms in the crypto and fiat worlds alike. What's even more interesting about this whole scenario is that banks, like the Bank of America, are also partnering with Ripple. So, is there something that we all don't know about this case that's being hidden? We need to be vigilant about the news headlines and about what is actually happening behind the scenes to avoid being duped. The XRP community hasn't made it easy for the SEC in this court case as well. They've come through big time for Ripple.
The XRP community has come through big time for Ripple, and now the court knows it as well. Let's take a look at Deaton's motion at the bottom of page 4. Quote, knowing amici is excluded from presenting facts and evidence to the court, counsel for amici provided the parties with the relevant facts and evidence amici would present if allowed. And then look down at the footnote 5, quote, the parties have been provided with 3,252 affidavits from XRP holders from the United States and abroad attesting to matters, close quote. Over 3,200 affidavits. Good job, XRP community.
Jeremy Hogan has been in this case since the beginning. The XRP community signed over 3,200 affidavits, which will go a long way in helping Ripple land the win in this case. The future of this case might have just taken a turn. Over the last couple of years, Ripple has been evolving its systems to keep up with the emerging markets. That's why Ripple has been creating side chains to compete with some of the more recent trends in the industry. We're talking about NFTs and CBDCs. How incredible is it that Ripple came to this battle prepared? But after all, we knew Ripple has a strong team who always stays ahead of the game. So, if you were probably losing hope, don't be dismayed. With each passing day, we are getting closer to XRP being crowned as the king of cryptocurrency and global transfer for cross-border payments. On top of that, you all need to keep in mind that earlier, Brad Garlinghouse hinted at a period where we would be seeing much clarity in the industry. If you put all that together with the ISO 20022 timeline, you realize that the anticipated industry migration and the rise of a new financial era all make sense. And now, Brad is warning of a lawsuit loss for the SEC against Ripple Labs. And now that we are talking about the lawsuit, there's something crucial that we have to mention here. Well, the court has granted the SEC's motion for an extension of time to file an opposition to the amicus request to participate in the expert challenge. SEC's objection is due by June 7th, 2022, and any responses to that objection are due by June 10th, 2022. Judge Torres approved the SEC's extension of time to object. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard that the SEC is purposefully stalling the process. According to Ripple's general counsel Stuart Alderoty, the commission was playing the delay card rather than working expeditiously to resolve the disagreement once and for all. According to Alderoty, Ripple and the court are working around the clock to resolve the legal disagreement as soon as feasible. He anticipates that the lawsuit will not be settled until at least 2023. The stakes are high this year, as the regulation of the cryptocurrency business has become a top focus in Washington, D.C., following President Biden's signing of a crypto executive order. According to the leading Ripple lawyer, the sector's future is on the line. If Ripple wins, the SEC will have to re-evaluate its anti-crypto stance. If the agency is successful, it will almost probably result in a torrent of new litigation against other cryptocurrency-focused businesses. Meanwhile, Ripple is carrying on as usual despite the SEC's procedural wranglings. The company is still the most popular blockchain-based interbank transaction service, and its tentacles are spreading far and wide. As always, do your own research and always trade safely, guys. We continue to pray for the people of Ukraine. Let's stop the war. Please keep in mind, we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. You can let us know what you think in the comments section below. Let's have a conversation. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and please click on that subscribe button below. And be sure to turn on notifications so you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. Thanks again, and we will see you on the next Money Side.